Good morning. I'm meteorologist Lisa Green with a look at what we can expect to see as we are making our way into the day today and a stretch of rainy weather to come for us in the forecast. We're looking at conditions that are going to be well on that rainy side here for some time in the future here in the next several days. And so let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we're first alerting you to. First of all, today rain chances are returning, some of us already having seen them. And in addition to that, cooler weather too. I mean, we've got some moody October weather going on here today, and that will continue into the week this week. And taking a look at our forecast heading into the rest of the week, we've got our next weather maker talking about rain essentially every day with our next system that's going to move in Wednesday night into Thursday and perhaps even lingering into Friday. So we want you to be ready for rain. Have the rain gear with you as we make our way in the forecast here in the coming days. So I want to show you our radar now. This is the tri-state view. You can see most of the bulk of the rain is in South Dakota, Minnesota, and if you've been watching the forecast over the last couple of days, this was expected. What wasn't expected was to see some blue on the radar, and that would mean that we've got snow being detected aloft in the atmosphere, in the clouds, where the radar beam is pointing. And this is something that has been showing pretty much all morning long as the moisture's been moving in. And so you can see that Northern Valley is where we're focused for precip. Southern Valley, there is some shower activity, and that may fill in more and more. But Northern Valley is where we're looking out for the potential for some flakes, perhaps. But overall, all I have seen is rain. And so the entire column of air had not saturated yet. So at the surface, it was still pretty dry. So nothing was being reported on the ground. But as we've been seeing that moisture moving in, it's been falling mainly as rain. So likely what's happening here is we're seeing maybe more snow in the clouds, but as it's falling into a warmer atmosphere, it's melting and becoming rain showers as it reaches the ground. So, but still, this is snow on the radar, but not necessarily in your view as you look out the window here. However, it is notable because it is the first radar detected snow of the season here in the valley. And we've been seeing it again as this system has been moving northward, running into some colder air in the northern valley where temperatures have been chillier over the course of the morning. So bottom line is, I mean, don't be surprised if you see a flake, but mostly we're looking at showers. I haven't heard a single report of any snow associated with it, but I have seen rain on our DOT cams. And likely what you're seeing here in the yellows and oranges, not heavy rain, it's probably some melting going on, and that's highly reflective to the radar. So again, you can see some showers over toward parts of northwest Minnesota. Grand Forks has had some rain move through, and then the bulk of it is a little bit farther to the west. And we'll take this full screen so you can see a better view of it here really quick. I know it's a little harder to see when it's a box within a box here, but you can again see that we've got rain steady going on, basically Carrington up through Devil's Lake, Can-Do. Again, blue on the map would indicate snow, but it is falling in the form of rain. And that initial line, it might not be making it to the ground right away, but we are seeing some showers associated with this system. So I am just going to look up some DOT cams here as we are looking at the current conditions here. So I'm going to pull up our weather graphic. And I'll pull this up for you too so you can follow along as I'm taking a look. Okay, so there's our home page, our weather page. By the way, you can watch our forecast that we do on the air here as well. This was from about 6 o'clock this morning, so it's a little old, but still you get the gist of the forecast there, and you can see at that point in time the snow. This is Carrington right here. Here's Jamestown as well, so you can see that snow was already being detected on the radar at that point in time. But what I want to look at are our DOT cams. So this is a great tool, especially during the winter time. You see all of these options here. If you go to road conditions, it takes you to kind of a home page for all of the state DOT cams around the region, including Manitoba, the province there if you're heading northward. But let's take a look at North Dakota really quick. You can see that we're going to pull up cameras. And a lot of places in the west have been seeing rain. This is the New Rockford area. You can see rain there. I'm actually going to show you that same image coming up here, or a similar image coming up here. You can see the wet road there. And then up toward Devil's Lake, we'll pick one of those cameras. You can see the wet road surface there too. Back over to Grand Forks, I've been watching there as well. Looks like it's not as rainy as it was, but still seeing some wet roads going on in that area. And then I want to look over into Minnesota as well, because based on the radar, there's some radar returns showing what would be snow right over Thief River Falls. So bear with me here. I'm used to using these, so I'm going to move through pretty quickly on these selections. But I want to take a look at the camera north of Thief River Falls. Looks like we've got some wet pavement. But I'm not really seeing much. Of course, these can be a little bit old. This is going on 10 minutes old now, so there may be an update to that one coming up here soon. I'll keep an eye on that one. But again, this is kind of lining up with the radar. You can see that there's some snow, at least aloft over Thief River Falls at the moment. So again, I'm continuing to watch all of this, but we are looking at mainly just rain showers associated with this system. So here's Grand Forks. You can see this is one of the cameras I pulled up for Grand Forks. We had some raindrops on the camera not too long ago. It looks like that's taken a break at the moment. You can see the kind of wet road surface, and definitely on the rainy side over by New Rockford along Highway 281 associated with the rain moving through. Okay, so right now we've got just overcast skies in Fargo. It's looking gray. We are looking at conditions that are really on that just kind of gloomy side here this morning. Temperatures are also very cool. We're at 43 degrees in Fargo. Grand Forks, rain and 36. So really cold kind of rain going on right now. And some rain reported in Devil's Lake as well. We saw that on the radar with temperatures that are a little milder in Jamestown, Bemidji, and Monoman. We're into the low 40s, excuse me, there instead of the 30s right now. So it really is going to be a struggle to warm up for us here today. So be ready for cool conditions to last all day long. You'll want the rain jacket, at least some kind of jacket, but you know, if you pass through a rain shower, you might want to have that waterproof layer as well. So looking at our low temperatures today, I want to bring this up because we did see a range. The clouds started moving in from the south first. So clouds create that insulating effect. It helps to trap in the Earth's radiation. That is at night, you know, we often see us cooling down and the Earth is radiating out the heat that it built in from the day. And so that gets trapped in. It keeps our temperatures from dropping as much. So we're looking at, you know, low 40s in Oaks and Gwinner and Wahpeton for lows. Fargo low was 38, and then a huge difference to the north where we stayed clear throughout most of the overnight hours. And so we were in the mid-20s in these areas. Rolla got down to 25. It was 26 in Baudette and Bemidji. It was 29 in Grand Forks. You may have wondered, okay, where's our freeze warning? Where's our frost advisory? Well, the National Weather Service told us this morning that the Grand Forks office, that is, different offices have different protocols, but they chose to stop issuing those frost and freeze alerts after Thursday's cool down. We saw some places get into hard freeze territory on Thursday. Not everybody, but some did. And so, you know, those frost and freeze alerts are there for people who have the growing season going, farmers, gardeners, and they're supposed to alert you, hey, you know, temperatures are going to get low enough tonight that they could cause some crop or plant damage. But once the growing season ends, there's no need to issue those anymore. And if we did, there'd be one every single morning for months and months with our winter months ahead. So that language has been dropped. So if you still have some plants out there you're protecting, just keep in mind you're not going to get that kind of alert. You're going to want to check our forecast overnight to make sure that you know what the low is going to be. And of course, we'll be keeping you up to date too as we continue through the season. One thing to mention, Fargo hasn't dropped to freezing yet this season, so we're a little behind average on our first freeze in Fargo and some other places like Jamestown as well. So again, we had a cold morning. We're going to have a chilly day here today. Here's a look at our hour-by-hour planner. Chances for rain continue. You can see a little blue on the map. Once we warm up more and more, that risk for snow will be even lower. And you can see by the time we get into the 4 o'clock hour, we've got some showers north, some showers moving more into Minnesota at that point in time. And then that just continues to drift eastward and kind of fizzling out as we head into the nighttime hours for tonight. As the system that's helping to drive this wave moves east, and so it's bringing with the instability with it that's helping to trigger these showers moving on. So by tomorrow morning, it's looking pretty quiet. This is 8 a.m. on Wednesday. Not much to show you here. Looking pretty good here to kick off the morning. So looking at our high temperatures today, the vast majority of us staying in the 40s, never quite making it to 50. Fargo, we've got a shot to get to 51, and there might be 1 or 2 places that get to 51, but you can see a lot of us don't. A lot of us staying on that cool side coming up here for the weekend, the rest of the day rather, for today. So I know we've got the harvest in full swing happening here, so we've been doing a little bit of a harvest forecast for you. And this is for today. We've already gone past 8 a.m., but it was a lot quieter at 8 a.m., and now we're looking out for rain chances, rain showers. And so we've got these ears of corn to kind of help us decide, okay, what are we dealing with here? The yellow, the green ones indicate good or low hazards. Moderate, is getting, more concerns, and then red might keep you out of the fields here. So for the rest of the morning, heading into the afternoon, our rain chances are going to be higher, so that might have some impacts on your plans to be out and about. Wind will remain light. We're in the green here for today. That's the good thing. And then heading into tomorrow, we're looking at most of the day being quiet, but you can see I have this red ear of corn for tomorrow evening. That's going to be when our next chance for rain and thunder moves in. More into the later, maybe after dinner time and beyond, we'll be watching out for more rain, and rain that is a little bit heavier too, coming our way, with the possibility even of some thunderstorms for tomorrow evening. So that kicks off the next round. So that's what we're going to talk about here as we go through time and we get into details on our forecast for the next weather maker. So another way of showing this, our graph here that you may have become familiar with, we're looking at today. Again, rain chances during the daytime hours, that's this white bar, going to be higher than this evening. And again, chances tapering off into Wednesday morning. Then Wednesday night, that black bar going right back up, and same for Thursday, more scattered to widespread areas of rain. Thursday night, we're still looking at a decent shot. That does continue into Friday before we taper off into the weekend. I'm hoping we can get Saturday in without some rain chances. Still, there is a slight chance, still a possibility for some rain on Saturday, so just keep that in mind. So let's show you this on our hour-by-hour planner. So we're going to start things off on Wednesday morning. Again, as we stopped our hour-by-hour earlier, it looks pretty quiet to kick off the day. I can't rule out an isolated shower, but most of us staying dry. This is 1 p.m. on Wednesday, still looking pretty good. But once we get into the evening, here comes that chance for some areas of rain and thunder. So we've got some warmer air lifting in with the warm front. You can see that possibility. This is 9 p.m. Moving on into the overnight hours, this spreads into Minnesota a little bit more. We're looking at, by the time we get into Thursday morning, a lot of areas with some rain and thunderstorm activity going on. Not everybody. You can see there's areas where we don't have much happening, but then other places where we have the potential for a good downpour going on with the thunderstorms moving through. That lifts to the north. This is noon. And then we get into a little bit more of the warm sector here, heading into Thursday during the afternoon and evening. And then we start to see the low itself move through, and that possibility for rain heading into overnight Thursday and into Friday morning. And again, you can see that we have to switch models to a longer range because the short range only goes out so far in time. So bottom line is that we're looking out for chances for rain basically every day. There might be long stretches where we're not getting it during the day, especially on Wednesday, but the possibility is there each day that we may see some of this rain. So rainfall as we make our way through the rest of the week, all the way into Friday night. Everybody has a shot, but there are going to be a lot of areas that get a ½ inch or less. And then there will be some places that get in, you can see these pockets where we get some heavier bouts of rain, or maybe you get hit by a couple of rounds, where by the time it's all said and done over the course of the next 3.5 days now, we're looking at the potential of getting more than an inch of rain in some areas. Not necessarily widespread coverage, though. That's going to be more likely into central and western parts of North Dakota. But still, right now, it does look like there are some places that have the potential for picking up a good amount of rain. So let's take a look at our extended planner. First of all, one thing to note on your 11-day planner, not many days that are looking at warm weather. Most of our days, we're going to be mainly in the 50s. Heading into Thursday and Friday as that system approaches and we get that warmer air punching in, we'll get into some 60s. Maybe Thursday seeing 70 in the far, far south down by Sisseton. But we are looking to be cooler as we head into mid-October and beyond. So the thing is, though, that these numbers are right around average, so right around the middle of what we've seen in the months of October previously. So we are looking at just kind of typical type October temperatures. Overnights, we're looking at a lot of nights here where we stay into the 40s, though, so no real shot of really hard freeze going on at the moment, but still some days where we'll be 30s to 40. So that's a look at temperatures. Again, chances for rain through the week with that system that comes in Wednesday night and into Thursday and lingers into Friday. That may produce more of a breeze for us. And then this weekend, I'm hoping we can get that out of here so we can enjoy Saturday, but Sunday does look to be the better day right now, the more sure day of quieter weather going on. And then next week, another round, another quick system bringing a chance for rain. Right now, it looks like it might be on Wednesday that we see that. So here we are, looking at chances for rain here in the forecast. No, areas where we get a huge amount of rain over a short period of time, but it could add up for you where you are to more than an inch in some locations. And it's just going to be cooler. So if you've been holding off on breaking out the fall wardrobe, it might be time at this point. It is sweater weather, and it's also raincoat weather as well for the next few days. So you've been warned, and we'll continue to keep you updated. We'll keep an eye on the radar. It's even though we haven't had any reports of snow, it's just been really interesting to see that blue show up on the map again here in the valley. So more of that to come as we go through the season. But right now, at least it looks like at the moment, we're just looking at getting some rain here for today. So stay warm, stay dry, and we'll talk again tomorrow.